Welcome students to the continuation of the topic direct and indirect object. So in our previous video we have seen what is a direct object. Now here in this video we would learn what is an indirect object. An indirect object is the noun or the noun phrase or pronoun to whom or for whom the action is done. So here, to identify the indirect object in a sentence, you can ask the question to whom, for whom the action is done. So it receives the action through the direct object and not directly. So here, indirect object, it will receive the action only through the direct object, okay, and not it cannot receive the action directly, but it has to be received through the direct object. So this is the reason why we call it as indirect object. Indirect object answers the question at whom, to whom, for whom, and from whom. So here we have seen that to identify a direct object, we have to ask the question what or whom, right? So, but now to identify an indirect object, these are the questions that we can ask. That is, at whom, to whom, for whom, or from whom. Indirect object often comes after a preposition. So here again, another way to identify an indirect object is an indirect object will often be introduced by a preposition. Okay, there will always be a preposition before the indirect object. Now, there can be no indirect object without a direct object. We have seen that sometimes in a sentence there may be a direct object but not an indirect object. But here, there can be no indirect object without a direct object, which means indirect object cannot exist without a direct object. For example, he passed a packet to Nikki. The packet is passed to whom? Now here, Nikki, right? Here, the action is done to Nikki. So Nikki is the indirect object that comes after the preposition to. So here, remember, he passed a here. He passed a packet. Now, what did he pass? A packet. And to whom? To Nikki. So here, packet becomes direct object and to Nikki. That is, Nikki becomes the indirect object. A direct object may come before or after a direct object. So here, the placement of the direct object, okay? Indirect object. Sometimes we can place, sometimes the direct object may come before, the indirect object may come or may appear before the direct object, or it may also appear after the direct object, but the meanings remains the same. There is no change in the meaning, only the sentence structure is changed, okay? So let's see an example. Rama gave the notes to me. So here we know that Rama, he is the subject, gave is the verb, the notes is the direct object, and me is the indirect object, that is the action being done, right? So to whom is the action being done? To me. And what is the action? Gave. And who is the receiver? The notes, right? The notes is receiving the action gave. So here the notes is the direct object. Now here this sentence can be changed, okay? We can change the structure of the sentence without changing the meaning in this way. Rama gave the notes to me. This is the first one. In the second sentence, Rama gave me the notes. Now here you see. So here, indirect object may come before the direct object, or it may also come after the direct object without the meaning being changed. So students, this is all for today. I hope this video lesson will help you understand direct and indirect object better. In the next slide, you will find the question for your assignment. So do your assignment on time and send it to my personal WhatsApp number. Thank you all.